Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you about my work. On 40 years as a prospector, fossil collector, and exhibition maker. Forgive me to use my own example as somebody who's been in this field for quite some time and had some remarkable success, I'm afraid to say. And the longer I'm doing this, the more I wonder if such a career as I've had in the last 40 years could still be repeated in the future. And I think that this is a very important thing that you should consider when new laws come up. As many places have been closing, it's getting more difficult, laws are being made, and worldwide there is a tendency now to regulate fossils and to make more restrictions. And the point that I'm trying to do today is to use this and say, look, this is what you could do if you make liberal laws. The picture that I'm showing here shows the latest example that we set up our Saudi Museum in Atal. It's a new species of a sauropod that we finished a year ago, and the people that you see here, everyone took place in it, either as a digger, or in the preparation, or in mounting, or in the publication. So I'm going to give you a very quick run through my personal career as a fossil collector and exhibition maker.
Yes.
Okay, now we are going way back, 1976. I started out digging fossil fish in Wyoming in a commercial fish quarry. This really got me turned on to collecting fossils. That's me as a young man, believe it or not. But what it really did to me, I became very seriously interested in paleontology around the age where most of you already had established your profession. I was over 30 at that time when I finally found my vocation. Sorry, I'll do this.
Use this one to just click the next.
Okay. That, yeah.
Yep.
No, doesn't do it. How about this one? No.
Sorry. Don't know why it didn't.
I'm sorry for the delay. I'm not a good at computer. I'm better at collecting fossils in the field.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
So can we go to the next? Can you just click it on? Okay. I'll do it later. That's it. And then click on the next one. So, after numerous visits to the fish quarries in Wyoming, where I was able to pick up not only fossil fish, but all kinds of other green Eocene, Green River fossils, I wrote a little brochure book publication that I did, and I just kind of wanted to show that I'm serious now with paleontology. And as a result of that, the Smithsonian Institution in Washington heard about that there was 4 fossil birds in my collection, and so they asked me if they could buy my collection. At first, I wasn't terribly enthused about, I was just getting started really. Next picture, please. So because, I realized that if I continue this for a while, I would really have an important collection, but I thought the Smithsonian Institution would be no better place to run it, so I agreed to sell the entire collection. And even now, when I go to the Smithsonian, I see a couple of my specimens that I collected, see on display there, and it makes me happy. At the same time, next picture please, I started collecting vertebrates in the Badlands of South Dakota, a fantastic landscape. If you don't know it, you should go and experience it. It is really, truly, absolutely one of the wonders of the world. And next picture. That's me when I was having my first find, the first fossil turtle. That was my first significant find. And next picture. After about 15 years, it resulted in a quite nice collection of Oligocene Badlands fossils. The entire collection went to the Palaeontological Institute at the University of Zurich. About 2/3 of the specimens that are in this collection are actually self-collected. The rest of them I added by making purchases from other collectors. Next. Then came an unusual specimen. I accidentally came across the fossil turtle. That's the largest fossil turtle in the world. We shipped it to Atoll and had it semi-prepared, and eventually it went to the Natural History Museum in Vienna, where it still adorns the fossil collection in Vienna. Then the director of the museum in Vienna asked me if I could get them a dinosaur. That really fired my mind. And it didn't take me long to find, together with my American colleagues from the Black Hills Institute, we opened a dinosaur quarry in the north of South Dakota, and we dug there for 2 years. Those 2 years resulted in a dinosaur. This is the Edmontosaurus, which is now at the Ulster Museum in Belfast, Northern Ireland. It was a tremendous success from the public point of view. You can see the people that line up to see it. And that gave me the idea that eventually I could make my own museum in Aartal, Switzerland, but it still took me about 15 years to get prepared for the next step. Then the next big adventure was doing fossil whales in Peru. In the Pisco Formation, we got the permit from the Peruvian government, and several of these specimens then we delivered to museums. The Josefina, the whale Josefina, is now at the Naturkundemuseum in Stuttgart. We have one in Karlsruhe, and together with all kinds of other interesting fossils from this site. This is the one that we still kept at, which we have our Sauri Museum in Natal. And my favorite one that went to Japan, I think this is really truly spectacular. It's just absolutely stunning piece. It has the power of a living thing, and so that's something that still today turns me on. But I spent over a year of my life running around in the desert, the coastal desert of Peru, and this is the one we call Vertebrate, which went also to a Japanese museum. And as part of the deal that they had with the Peruvian government was that we protect one fossil in the field, a fossil whale that was relatively close to the Pan American Highway. And so we built this structure right over the fossil whale that can now be seen by tourists. Next. Then, after 7 years in the Peruvian desert, came my most ambitious project, and that was the Jurassic dinosaurs of Wyoming. Next. You'll see us in action. For the first time, we used heavy equipment to dig, because I learned how to dig carefully, but with big equipment, and I think this is a very efficient way to get to fossils that have not been abused by erosion, and so you get kind of to the fresh fossil, and what you see in the next few pictures is that the results that came from this, that all in all we went 15 consecutive years to the same place every year for 1 month with a group of 7 to 15 people. That's, yeah, Diplodocus, Allosaurus. By the way, all these dinosaurs that you see now, they have already been some papers published. Some of the authors of these papers are actually in this room or in the other room here, especially from the Martin Sander group from Bonn. They have used our material from the Howe place extensively for research, and I think more than 20 papers have already been published. Next. The Camarasaurs with the incredibly complete skull. Then next we have the Tony baby. We go next to the one that was recently described as a new species, Catidopus siberi. Okay, go next. We're running through this quickly now, so I don't lose too much time, because I have a dessert ready for you. Okay. This is the stegosaur number 1. Oh, excuse me. We have in all, we dug up 4 stegosaurs. 3 are still at the Saudi Museum. The last one that you saw is, of course, the one at the British Museum that just opened there a year ago. We literally saved this specimen from destruction. It was in very bad shape when we got it, and I'm very proud of it. That I think that if we had not been there at that moment right there, this specimen would not exist. These maps give you an indication of how we map when we dig up a fossil. Next one, this gives you an example, and there's a view into our one of 2 dinosaur halls that we have at our museum in Switzerland, and I invite you to come and see it if you don't know it already. This is the digging crew from 2 years ago. I employ all the help I can get, including my own daughters. 1, 2, 3, these are my family helps me with the museum, and also they're quite passionate about digging. Okay, but of course, as we have heard today, not all this goes easy. Having a dig place is a difficult thing to find, and more dig places are closing. And so I hope that you in this hall, that you're using this, what you hear now, to make a sound judgment about how fossil regulation should be in the future. So it doesn't turn out like I'm going to show you now in a short movie. That's by the way, that's the inauguration. I've never shown this movie to any audience. It's been finished 3 days ago. Click on. Yeah, there. Click on. Happy dinosaur hunting. Sound? Do we have sound? Oh, we're missing the sound. It's too bad. Good. Oh, okay.
Start again?
Yeah.
Again?
No, it's okay. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.